Hello everyone, and welcome back to Let's Play Hearts of Iron 4 Black Ice, with me, Papa Mega, in Turkey. So the date is 27th of September 1948, and we are progressing on our way to improve our economy, production, army, pretty much everything. Right now, the strength of the army is 426 points, which is really good. We have the Special Forces cap of 30, which is really nice. And today we're going to start working on improving the Dodge Tuai, which are our mountaineers. We have been talking about that for quite some time now, but really, we have to do it. I was thinking what things would be the best for us to do, and I think we're going to start with putting the production of the mountain artillery on today. We're going to upgrade it, as I mentioned before, because there is not going to be any further upgrade to the mountain artillery. This is it. The pack artillery that we have is as good as it is, so it might be a good idea to start producing it as good as possible from the very beginning, which in my opinion is what we're gonna do here. And we can add more battalions and everything to the mountaineers a little bit later. The production needs to start soon, so I'll keep the army experience accumulating until we get our first factories that we can put on the production, which is going to be very, very, very soon. The Munich agreement is also coming very soon, which I believe will bump up the war tension significantly. We have to be ready for that in case we can start the urban mobilization. And also there is that focus tree that will give us focus that will give us 2 extra factories. So let's think about that. We're not getting enough iron from Sweden. What's up, Sweden? Is it something I said? Spanish Republic will obey us instead. I still cannot get over the fact that the socialist won. I really, really never saw that. It's always Franco. So, kind of interesting to see that. I mean, they were doing pretty well and we supported them, and so did many others, but this already is becoming, an interesting timeline. Though any kind of the changes like this freaks me out, because, you know that how bad some of the other playthroughs went. We have been really catching a bad rap as Ottomans, We had such a really good run in EU4 and then it wiped. We had such a bad run in Victoria. We had such a good run in the Great War, and then the Central Power surrendered. I mean, we just cannot catch a break. So, alright, we have the anti-tank traps done. Now we need the infantry anti-tank defenses, which will give us additional heart attack. So let's burn 10 XP on that. That is reasonable. And you guys can give us resources. Now, what did we finish? It wasn't the plastics. I think it might have been the improved power plant or something, though. Or was it the fuel refining? I think it might have been the fuel refining. It might have been the fuel refining. How much oil are we extracting? 12. So the catalytic cracking actually might make sense now. But I'm really tempted to go with the industrial farming. I would like to see, we definitely don't have many farms, but every bonus could be really beneficial there. I don't think there's anything we want over here. Yeah, that's way ahead of time. Physical liquefaction. Now, let's get the catalytic cracking first. We are, in my excavation 2. Yeah, let's get catalytic cracking, then excavation, and then we're gonna focus on farming. I know that I keep postponing that, but importing food is so cheap that it really isn't any kind of burden. Yes, I know. And we'll need to start looking at potential as producing airplanes, because that is something that we haven't even considered. Now, you guys still need infantry equipment, but other than that, you are relatively okay. And of course, radio equipment. That's something that we need to give you, but radios are being produced, which is nice. Which is gonna help. And I'm really happy about it. Now, if you look at you guys, you know, also require radio equipment. I'm not entirely sure if we're gonna see a difference here, but I distinctly remember that it was something like, what, 12? 12? Less 11.9, something like that, when it came to organization. So let's see if we see a difference here already. We do. Organization is 14 now. Amazing. So if we can get more radios in to support battalions and everything, this is going to be much nicer overall. Cool, cool, cool. What the hell? Why did our special forces limit went down? That is a little bit weird. Alright, so how are the subs? Are still refitting. 96.7. Yeah, still refitting. Alright, 25th of October. We can speed up. Ah, okay, here we go. The Munich Agreement. German demands for the Sudan territory in Czechoslovakia, which is home to a considerable German minority, have intensified. At a summit held in Munich, Germany, Britain, France and Italy sought to find a diplomatic solution to the so-called Sudeten crisis. Czechoslovakia was not invited to attend. An agreement was reached in which Germany annexes the Sudetenland, but will not pursue any further territorial gains in Europe. Mr. Chamberlain spoke to the crowds in London. For the second time, a Prime Minister has returned from Germany, bringing peace with honor. I believe it is peace for our time. Wow. They managed to defeat China. That's... and in record time already. That's crazy. I've never seen this happen before. The Chinese AI is just hopeless. Wow. Alright. Well, this Taiwan is, as I said, very interesting. I have no idea what happened to China, but they're gone. Oh! Alright, and the world tensions are now 51%. Jesus Christ, can we? Yes, we could go all the way to war economy? Wow, that's crazy, really? Do we not need to be... Well, we're not at war, but Jesus Christ, it allows us to go straight up to war economy. Well, alright, then we know what we're gonna pour our political power in. We're gonna start mobilizing our economy. Thank you, China, for this unexpected gift. I really appreciate it. Alrighty, so special forces will be done. Oh, army mobilization. Now that the threat of war has increased more and more rapidly in recent times, there are growing voices in favor of putting the military in a state of general mobilization. The High Command has made all the necessary preparations in this regard and awaits your decision. So you would want to move from reserve army to standing army. I actually don't think we need that. Yeah, no need. We're not entering war anytime soon, and I need to save my political power for the economy mobilization. But holy hell, this is crazy. How did Japan do this? I mean, I said the bonuses to both Japan and to China. So there shouldn't be any difference in performance. And I doubt that like getting 5% bonus is okay. Now this is going to be really interesting to see the result of. They will now have free reign to fight against the Americans and other places. What an interesting result. I mean, it's a test Black Ice, so things might go awry, you know, and they already are. Alright, so we get special forces. Now let's get rid of conflict. That's 2 military factories. And those are gonna go straight up on the mountain artillery. So that's what we are after. Now, did we finalize the... Yes, the war games. War propaganda. We don't really need that one. Actually, we... Oh, no, we don't. Okay, so the submarines are actually ready. You guys can separate and drill. Oh, and I forgot that we need to... Yes, I wanted to modernize the destroyers. That's what I wanted. Or, actually, I did already... Alright. Yes, that's gonna take a while. October 5th. Oh wow, that's gonna take a year. Dang, they really are rough with this one. So we need 100 for early mobilization and 225 for partial. I mean, we're gonna mobilize consistently, but actually this Yugoslavia claims Bulgaria. Citing the foundation of their nation as a union of the Southern Slav people, Yugoslav rhetoric has recently increasingly argued for the Bulgarian people's membership of this union. Now this propaganda has taken a drastic new turn, as Yugoslavia has outright staked their claim to the Bulgarian region. As both nations ready their forces, war may well erupt at any moment. Now I wanted to say that this fact that we can actually go all the way means we should maybe consider going with diplomatic effort and, for example, the Open Art Institute. Or the... Oh no, actually these two. Because this one we cannot do. It will create a separate faction. So we'll need to go with these two and use the political power to actually get the mobilization of the economy done. And alright, no more daily change, that's good. Alright, now you guys are the primary beneficiaries. Yeah, we're gonna get a ton of bonuses to economy once we start mobilizing. But it's also gonna bring in... Hey, we're importing too much oil now. We don't need that. Alright, we actually did not need that at all. France and Britain signs an alliance. Calling upon the bonds forged during the Great War, France has requested a formal alliance with Britain, citing unspecified threats against the stability of Europe. Today, the request was approved by the British Parliament and France has joined the Allies. Very nice. The world is on the path to destruction, and we're dancing in the streets. Alright, so you guys have... Actually, Actually, that's not cool. We don't have any manpower. Alright, well, we're just gonna have to start pushing this. This starts lowering stability. Yeah, not really good. Okay, well, turns out we don't have much of a choice. We'll need to first mobilize the economy. Your capacity. Factor output, production, attention. Alright. Then we're gonna have to go and do the war propaganda, because we need to raise war support so that we can get more troops on the line. Yep, unfortunately that's how we'll have to do it. The death of Mustafa Kemal Ataturk. The Republic grieves. War hero, revolutionary, president and father of the Turks, Mustafa Kemal Ataturk has passed away. He maintained his duty to the Turkish people and the Republic he founded up until the very end. Thousands of mourners have paid their respects in Istanbul before his body was transferred by Kaysan ship and train to Ankara. There his state funeral was held with the entire parliament and dignitaries from all over the world in attendance. With the father of the modern Turkish nation now gone, the Republic must move on. The Grand National Assembly has elected former Prime Minister İsmet İnönü as the successor. He's giving us an army experience. Alright. I can't say that's bad. It's not great, but you know, well, I can appreciate that. Mr. İnönü, what are you gonna bring to the table? I wonder, we might actually upgrade the mountain artillery a little bit more than I expected before. We'll see how that's gonna go. Alright, decision available, and that's not what we want. We actually want the early mobilization. So it's gonna give us 5% extra factories, faster research speed, but starts lowering stability and lowers political power gain. But military factories will get a huge boost. Factory and dockyard output will get a boost, and fuel capacity gets boost. So in 28 days we're gonna start seeing that. So right now we're at minus 19%, and we're gonna get to about, I think I said minus 7, something like that, or minus 2, I don't remember exactly. But we shall see. Alright. So just 2 more days and we actually have everything in stockpile that we need, with the exception of mountain artillery and radio equipment. So that extra factor is actually gonna go to here, the one that we're gonna build actually. And you are done. We have, oh actually we don't have everything. We also need the fortress defenses. I did not realize that's the one that we missed. Dang it. I could start with you and do that one a little bit later. Anything else that we're missing? I think no, also we're missing this one. Alright, let's start with the special forces. We need this one now. I don't think there's anything else that we want really. Yes, okay, so special forces. Unconventional fighting requires specialist training. We need to ensure that our troops are prepared and able to adapt to harsh conditions. We got 2 more divisions, so let's add them on the 5th Army and have them drill. How's the mobilization going? 28 days still. You will be ready on 7th of January. Alright, so no, that was a bad idea actually. Let's keep it like this, because we'll need to start producing the mountain artillery. But yes, our stockpile is now full. Again, with the exception of radio equipment and mountain artillery, both of which we are working on right now. And we will be. The artillery is actually improving. We're putting more Topraks into the field. We're starting to get the old Krupp cannons back in stockpile. Not that they would be terrible, but they really are bad. That was a weird sentence, wasn't it? Not that they are terrible, but they are bad. Yes, the speed is increasing. The mobilization is getting better. And we're gonna jump to partial soon. I think that's gonna also make these cheaper once we're done, but I cannot be sure. Alright, so we are ready for conflict. And that means we can start producing the mountain artillery. Now the mountain artillery is gonna be called 75mm Bosdoan 38. I'm gonna give it a carriage upgrade, range finding, and propellant charge. All of these can actually be created. Yes, we need to increase that. We need to increase that, and we need to increase that. Alright, so the Bosdoan will now be put into production. Sure, can I rename it? Can I obsolete you? So 5mm. Can I? This is a little bit weird. What's done for the 8? No, it still puts in the Mark 1. Alright, well, never mind then. I'm gonna put 2 factories on it. Right now we're producing 1.2 per week, but we'll get to about 4 times as much. So not exactly 1 per day, but I have a feeling we might add more factories very soon from other areas. No, I'm not sold on the idea yet. But yes, because we are producing more or building more factories here, I'm gonna put 1 more here and 1 more here. And yes, you can already see the difference forming here. And I'm a crazy man who forgot about this. Alright, so what can we do? You will give us a bonus for electronics, nuclear technology. You give us oil. I don't think that is necessary. These ones will get later on. Yeah, we need the mobilization. So let's get the diplomatic effort. We have to be active on the international arena to protect our interests. Yeah, it's gonna be a long one. But we'll see this one. Nobel Prize 1948. Italy rages as Fermi receives Nobel Prize. When the 1948 Nobel Prizes were awarded at Stockholm Concert Hall on 10th of December 1948, only 2 Nobel laureates were present. Pero Buck, Literature Laureate, and Enrico Fermi, Physics Laureate. Swedish King Gustav V presented the laureates with their Nobel diplomas and medals. The Nobel Peace Prize 1948 was awarded to Office International Nansen pour les Réfugiés, Nansen International Office for Refugees. The Nobel Prize in Physics was awarded to Enrico Fermi for his demonstration of the existence of new radioactive elements produced by neutron irradiation, and for his related discovery of nuclear reactions brought about by slow neutrons. After receiving the prize in Stockholm, Fermi opted to not return to Italy. Whispers are this happened due to the new racial laws in Italy that threatened his Jewish wife, and instead continued to New York City. Apparently he applied for a permanent residency there, making Italian officials fume with rage, calling Fermi a traitor. The Nobel Prize in Literature 1938 was awarded to Pero Buck for her rich and truly epic description of peasant life in China and for her biographical masterpieces. The committee withheld both the prizes for chemistry as well as physiology or medicine, stating none of these year's nominations met the criteria outlined in the will of Alfred Nobel. Alright. So they did lower... Yes, it lowers the price. Good. That's what I was hoping for. So partial mobilization will come next, as we needed one earlier. So we saved a little bit of time on this, and now we have a little bit of a different couple of issues. We need to start increasing our war support. I don't think there's anything here. The national training the workforce is nice, but we need the schools for that. Army war games are a go again, which is great, but you guys can actually get something. War games leader. That's interesting. We get our XP, 200 XP to be precise. You're upgrading catalytic cracking. Nice, nice, nice. So did the... No, that actually did not increase the production. That's interesting. Alright. I mean, the excavation is going to deal with that. Hopefully we're gonna get a little bit better, but it's gonna give us the ability to get the iron. So progress in geology helps us determine the location of resources. We can now focus our extraction efforts in places where there is greater chance that large amounts of natural resources will be found. A signal company is coming soon. Rubber processing is coming soon. The armored cars will come soon too. Once we finish and put at least 3 factories on each of these, I will be able to start that. Which will mean that I take a little bit away from the horse equipment, because we will be switching the scouts to cars. And I'll probably be able to take one more from the horse transports, because we are building a really nice stockpile. The Lima Conference. The Lima Conference, held in Lima, Peru, concludes with the adoption of the Declaration of American Solidarity. Representatives from the American states gather to reaffirm their commitment to shared principles and values that unite them as a continent. The Declaration emphasizes the spiritual unity achieved through republican institutions, a resolute desire for peace, a profound sense of humanity and tolerance, and unwavering adherence to the principles of international law, equal sovereignty of states, and individual liberty without religious or racial biases. The conference recognizes that respect for the personality, sovereignty, and independence of each American state is vital for maintaining international order and continental solidarity. It builds upon previous declarations and agreements, including those of the Inter-American Conference for the Maintenance of Peace in Buenos Aires, which endorsed the principles of inter-American solidarity and cooperation. In addition to the Declaration of American Solidarity, the conference issues a Declaration of American Principles. The declaration emphasizes the pressing need to uphold fundamental principles in international relations, emphasizing the preservation of world order and the rule of law, the pursuit of peace with justice, and the advancement of social and economic well-being for humanity. The Weimar Conference serves a significant milestone in strengthening the bonds between American nations, fostering cooperation, and promoting the shared values of peace, justice, and prosperity throughout the continent. Really nice. And we get the signal company. So let's see what the effect of that one is. It gives us organization recovery rate, bonus to initiative. Yes, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. So we need that one. But unfortunately, we don't have any army experience right now to do that. With you busy with that, I think the time has come for us to actually look at industry again. Oh, we're actually doing that already. I forgot. Okay, this is retention. This is supplies. Construction free then. Let's go. Adoption of modern vehicles and experience from our advancement in construction can be applied to make repair vastly quicker. So, all buildings, construction speed plus 3, 6 for civilian factories, none for military factory or dockyards. But that's fine. That is fine, because we're going to be using that also for the synthetic rubber refinery, because we will need one. Come on, I need a partial mobilization next. That's gonna be a big one. Are we researching? I think we're researching the radio, right? Wait, nobody is working on the radios? Why not? Did I forget about that? No, we can get the truck radios, the core HQ, electronics and radio technology. Alright, so we need this one next. Who can do the electronics? I think you were actually limited, and that's why we couldn't do it. So the rubber processing is gonna go there next. Alright, we got our first actual military factory built, and it went to the radios. 5.77 per day, and it's gonna get you about 9, more or less, which is gonna be good. At this point, we are looking at about 200 days, right, when it comes to the radios. 186, mountain artillery 42. And that is still without the upgrades that we're planning to do. But they're getting better. I think the Bozdoan should be already prevalent in some of our units. Yep, we can see that we have the Bozdoan here. The Bofors M34 is going to be slowly phased out. However, once we upgrade the units, these are gonna be very much used because they will be needed. Hey, and we actually now use the Shimshaks pretty much. Some of the Amurs. You have the improved multi-general equipment. Really good. Yeah. We really need to start investing in these guys more. Infantry equipment, assault equipment, machine guns. Drum pattern sights. I think I'll take it, but I won't update the weapons because the bonus is so low. I don't really feel like it's beneficial. Anyway, let's end the episode here. The war against Poland is gonna break out very soon, and with that, the Germans steamroll through Europe. So we need to be ready for that. I mean, our army is already getting much stronger, but we'll need even more if we can get that. So, thank you very much. See you in the next one.